power of walking away. The power of walking away from a woman who is not treating you right, a woman who is disrespecting you, a woman who is poison dripping you, treating you with low value, who is not appreciating you or the value you bring to the table. One thing you have to understand is having the ability to walk away from a woman is hands down the #1 most powerful weapon that you have as a man. Okay? Because when that girl knows that you can walk away from her at any time, she will value you that much more. She will have that much more respect for you. And she will be that much more attracted to you. Okay? The problem is, most guys out there, since we were raised by this sissy, feminized culture, do not have the power to walk away. Most guys out there are in such scarcity, and they live with such a scarcity-based mindset, that any woman that they interact with, they're afraid to lose. Okay, whether they're just approaching her, whether they're dating her casually, and especially if they're in a actual long-term relationship with her. These guys like hang on to these women like a second mommy, right? Like a whoopee, like a blanket they don't want to let go of. And the thing you have to understand about women is, when she knows that you can't walk away from her, when she knows that she is your only option, that is when she will treat you the absolute worst. That is when she will start doing all sorts of evil and nasty things to you. She will start sabotaging you. She'll start sabotaging the relationship. She'll start going out there and exploring her options, looking for the bigger, better deal, exercising her open hypergamy. Why? Because she no longer trusts you to be a man. She no longer trusts you to lead that relationship or that interaction that you're having with her if you're just approaching her. And this is especially true for guys who are in LTRs, who are in those long-term relationships, who are, you know, you might be with your girl for a few years now, or you might be married to your woman, and you notice that the more that you start giving into her, the more you start compromising with her, the more that you start trying to please her, the less she starts to respect you, the more she starts to poison drip you, the more she starts to nag you, nitpick at you, putz shame you, right? She just starts treating you with like massive disrespect. You know, when her girlfriends ask about you, like, oh, how are things with Ray? How's Ray doing? She'll be like, oh my gosh, don't ask. Right? She won't be like, oh, Ray, me and Ray are great. Oh, I'm so in love with Ray. Ray is the bomb. He's badass. Oh, I'm so in love with him. I have a crush on my own man. It's crazy. She's not going to say that. Instead, she's going to be like, Ray. Oh, Ray, Ray, Ray. She'll say shit like that, right? She'll say your name 3 times. Ray, Ray, Ray. What am I going to do with this boy? Even though you're a man, she's calling you a boy. Right? Because she knows you can't walk away, right? She knows no matter how piss poorly she treats you, you just won't walk away. She knows she's got you. And like I said, when women know that they're your only option, that you can't go out there and get other, that's bad, okay? That's bad, guys. She has to know that you have the ability to go out there and replace her at any time if she starts acting up, if she starts treating you piss poorly, if she starts disrespecting you and treating you with low value. She has to know that you have that ability to go out there and replace her. And this is what makes having the skill of like pickup and having game priceless. It's invaluable, because girls will know that, hey, he picked me up. That means he can easily go out there and replace me. Every single girl that I've ever dated and that I'm dating currently, that I've met through a cold approach where I picked her up, right? I saw her and I cold approached her, and through that cold approach, I got her to go out with me, to date me, to fall in love with me. Every single one of those girls stayed on her toes. Okay? I didn't have to do much to keep her on her toes. She, by default, stayed on her toes because she was like, this guy picked me up cold. Most guys can't do that. That means he can go out and replace me. Right? They know. And a lot of people, a lot of my haters come on my channel and they try to be like, oh, what if any of those 6 girls you're dating, because I have a 6-girl dating rotation right now. Well, actually it's 5. I let go of 1 girl recently. That's another story. So I've got a 5-girl dating rotation right now. And they're like, oh, what if any of those girls found out about your channel, found out about these girls you're picking up? Then what would happen? And I'm like, duh, they know about it. Okay, all of these girls generally find out by a simple Google search. Okay, but if I don't tell them directly. But most times I'm pretty upfront and I tell them what I do. I'm like, I teach men dating advice and self-improvement. And I'm helping thousands of guys all around the world every single day to improve their dating lives. You know, and I tell them too, I warn them, I'm like, you know, I have a YouTube channel. It's a bit polarizing, so I tell them that. I'm like, it's a bit polarizing. I'm not giving advice like buy her flowers and be nice to her. I'm just being straight up 100% real and truthful. And most times, because I come at them like that, they're able to deal with it. And because I approach girls that fit my values and my belief systems, most times they back me up on it. They're like, wow, you are so right. Or wow, it's so refreshing that a guy is telling the truth. Right? Because a lot of like beta males and like haters think that these girls are gonna freak out and dump me. No, that's not the case. Even the girls who have freaked out over it have not dumped me. They've just become more attracted to me. Even though they've wanted to fight me on it, they've just become more and more attracted to me, right? But it all goes back to them knowing that I have the power to walk away. I don't need to stay with you, okay? I don't need to be with you, especially after they see my pickup channel and they see all my work. They're like, wow, this guy is picking up like beautiful women all the time. He can replace me. He doesn't need to be here. And they know by default I have the power to walk away, and it's invaluable, it's priceless. I don't have to do much work in the relationship to keep them on their toes and keep them from disrespecting me or treating me with low value like they do most guys, like they've probably done most of their exes that they've gotten rid of. You know, and I've often told guys I have not been dumped in over 10 years. 2006 was the last time I got dumped. And even then, that girl came back, and technically I dumped her in return. But that was the last time. Have not been dumped since. And really, it comes back to me being able to walk away at any time. And the girl knowing that. Where back when I was getting dumped, 99% of the time, it was because the girl knew that I had chosen her and she was the option I was going with, and I was stuck in scarcity, and she didn't feel like I was gonna replace her. And she was like, this guy's a chump, I don't need him. On to the next guy. By the way, I'm visiting San Francisco right now, so I am in the Haight, where I was born and raised, for you guys who know my history. As you can see here, I'll do a little 360. So, going through the Haight district here. This is where I grew up. It has not changed very much. Okay, still got a lot of runaways here. A lot of teenagers come out here. They move from, you know, different parts of the country and different parts of the world to come out here to become homeless, unfortunately. As you can see, there's some kids right there that are living on the street. A lot of drugs out here, a lot of violence. You know, it's not the safest place. I mean, even now that the properties here are worth millions and millions of dollars, the culture really hasn't changed much. So, you know, it was always kind of a shithole, and it still kind of is. But back when I was growing up, I mean, my dad was like paying for an apartment out here. It was pretty cheap, so it wasn't that expensive, but now it's pretty pricey. And that building right there is where Charles Manson lived. You guys know the history of Charles Manson. That is the building that he lived in with his little disciples. And I grew up not too far away. But getting back to the topic, having the ability to walk away from a woman requires you to have an abundance mindset. Okay, so I'm not going to sugarcoat the truth or bullshit you and tell you like, yeah, you can, you know, totally just jump into abundance and you can just walk away from women. It doesn't work that way. Okay, you have to be in abundance. Okay, you have to realize that there are other women out there other than your girl, other than the chick that you are approaching or that you are in a relationship with. You need to understand and almost trick your brain into believing that you can get other women just like her, which you can. I mean, I shouldn't even say tricking your brain, because I mean, realistically, you can. If you apply yourself and you go out there and you approach women. And why can't most guys walk away from their women? It's because they don't believe in themselves. They don't believe that they can go out there and find a better woman than they already have. Okay, really, it just boils down to a lack of belief in yourself. Not believing that you can replace her when she starts treating you like shit, when she starts treating you piss poorly. And if you've noticed, women these days are massively entitled. Okay, they are massively entitled, especially due to, man, there's some hotties out here. That chick's hot too, unbelievable. Whew. Especially due to like social media. Social media has like literally taken women's narcissism to a whole new dimension, okay, to a whole new level. So they are even more entitled than they ever were before. They literally think that they are bulletproof and that no man has, you know, the courage to walk away from her gold-plated vagina. They're so entitled these days, and when you walk away from them, I mean, they're just like flabbergasted. I mean, their jaws drop. Like, what? And the hotter they are, I mean, the more they're thinking that you won't walk away, that you won't leave them. Funny, this used to be a McDonald's. It's closed now, but this was the McDonald's that my dad used to take me to as a child. We used to go to this McDonald's like in the mornings, and he would sit there, read his paper, drink coffee, and I would just kind of sit there with him and hang out. But yeah, looks like it's shut down now. It's too bad. And this used to be called Hippie Hill. I don't know what it's called now, but this is where all the hippies used to shoot up, get drunk, get high, destroy their lives. Not really a big fan of hippies, just because I grew up around them and I knew what they're about. But yeah, this place used to be called Hippie Hill. Hippie Hill. So whether you are in a relationship with a girl, whether you're married to her, or whether you're just approaching her, okay, the second that that woman starts DLVing you, starts disrespecting you, starts treating you like a schmuck, the last thing you want to do is reward her bad behavior. Okay, the last thing you want to do is sit there and take it. Okay, when you're approaching a girl and she starts treating you piss poorly, in that situation, you want to throw it back. Don't just take it. Don't let her get away with making you go inside your head and get insecure and get nervous. Okay, don't let her get away with that type of behavior. Instead, throw it back at her. Okay, take shots at her back. Okay, let her know that she cannot treat you this way. Let her know that there are consequences to treating you this way. And this is especially true for you guys who are actually in relationships with these girls, in LTRs, in marriages, where your partner, she starts to Putz shame you. She starts to talk badly about you to family, to friends. When you're out together, she doesn't look at you the same. She doesn't laugh at your jokes anymore. Remember when you first started dating and she would laugh at all your jokes? Now she doesn't do that. You can't let these women get away with treating you like that, then expect them to still be attracted to you. Okay, a lot of times when a woman starts treating you piss poorly like that, she is shit testing you. She is wanting to see if you will stand up for yourself. And most of you guys don't. Most of you guys let her get away with it. And you can't. Okay, you can't. Especially you guys who are living with these chicks. And I tell you guys, never move in with these women unless you're gonna marry them. You guys who are living with these girls, and you remove that competition anxiety from your relationship, where she's like, oh, he's coming home to me. There's no way he could be going out there and picking up other women. I don't have to worry about him losing him to another woman. You remove that competition anxiety, and it makes your job that much harder to keep her attracted to you. And when you're living with her, especially if you've just signed a 1-year lease, the last thing she's thinking is that you're just gonna get up and leave, right? Because you can't. You've signed a 1-year lease. This is why, again, I do not advise moving in with a girl unless you're gonna get married to her. Okay, otherwise, keep your own separate places. Keep your own separate apartments. Worst case scenario, move into hers. Okay, move into hers and help her out with the rent if you want to. Okay, just move into her place, and that way, if anything goes south, you could just take your ass and leave. Okay, do not let her move into your place. You know, do not go out there and get a place together. And at the end of the day, just understand that this is hands down the most powerful weapon that you have as a man, is having the power to walk away. When they know that you can walk away, they will treat you as you deserve to be treated as a man, with respect, with dignity, with value. I don't know how many times I've been out somewhere, whether I'm out at like a Costco, a Target, or I'm at dinner somewhere, and I see a guy with his woman, and his woman starts acting up. She starts throwing a hissy fit. She starts acting out. She starts rolling her eyes at him. You know, that's another thing, guys. Never put up with a woman rolling her eyes at you. You know, I can understand if she's just kidding, she's joking, and you're having fun together. But if she like rolls her eyes at you like in like disgust, like, why am I with this guy? If she does that, I'm done. Okay, you should be done. Don't put up with that stuff. But whenever I see guys out there with their women and their women start acting out like that, I'm like, dude, why don't you just get up and leave? Why don't you just get up and walk out? You know, if you're married and you drove there together, give her the keys, leave. Or leave her ass there if you really want to be a dick, depending on how bad she's acting, right? Do not sit there and put up with it. Do not sit there and be like, oh, honey, let's discuss this. Let's have a discussion about this. What have I told you guys over and over? Women are not logical. You cannot have a rational conversation with a woman who is wired to be irrational, who is wired to be emotional. Okay, you cannot reason with somebody like that. Okay, it's like you trying to talk a shark out of biting you. Okay, the only thing you can do is really just get away from the shark. Okay, I can't stand that when I see women out there treating their men like that. And you know whose fault it is? It's yours. It's yours for allowing that type of behavior, because women are always going to test our boundaries, guys. That's what they're wired to do. Women are like children. Hey, I'm saying it. Women are like children. They are. They're children in adult bodies. They are always going to test our boundaries. And just like a child, if you show them that there's no boundaries, they could kick you in the balls. They could poke your eyes out, you know, they could get away with all sorts of bad behavior. Guess what? They're gonna act out. They're gonna throw hissy fits. They're going to disrespect you like there's no tomorrow. But when you discipline that child and you let them know, hey, don't talk to me like that. Hey, don't do that again, or this is gonna happen. Right? When you let them know that there are consequences to their bad behavior, that's when they start rethinking their decisions. And that's when they start rethinking whether or not they should test you. You know, especially if there was a punishment after what they tried to get away with. You don't want to sit there and try to explain to her or try to have a discussion with her or compromise. You don't want to do any of those things. All of those blue pill tactics that you've learned from the Matrix are not going to work. All those blue pill tactics that you've learned from movies and TV shows and Hollywood are not going to work. Okay, this is why I tell you guys, stop watching freaking movies. Oh my God, you guys are killing me with all, like, every single time a movie comes out. Hey man, are you gonna watch the new Avengers? I'm like, no. You gonna watch, no, but Marvel's not like that. I'm like, I'm not gonna watch it, dude. All I'm gonna say is, at the end of the day, your number one most powerful weapon as a man is having the ability to walk away from a woman. Okay, that is your #1 most powerful weapon. And you know what? You need to use it. You need to use it. Okay, and I know it's hard sometimes because you've been with this girl for a long time. Okay? You've been with her a long time, or maybe you approached a girl who was drop dead gorgeous and you feel a connection and you don't want to leave that set. Okay, but again, you have to get out of that scarcity-based mindset. You have to get out of that. You have to walk away from that girl. I've walked away from plenty of girls and plenty of relationships where even to this day, I think about some of those girls and I'm like, why did she have to act like that? Why did she have to be that way? We could have been so good together. We could have really done this together. Why did she have to try to, you know, pull that shit on me? But you know what? I would have regretted more if I had stayed and let that girl just totally deteriorate me as a man. I would have had way more regret than walking away. And at the end of the day, these girls will always respect you when you walk away. They will always try to come back too. That's another thing you guys don't realize. These girls will try to come back to you because they'll be like, wow, this guy just demonstrated that he is alpha. And now I remember who he is again. Because a lot of these girls, they forget who you are as you're dating them. It's like they get a little too comfortable with you. You share a little too much. And then they forget how badass you actually are. Even you forget how badass you are. You were. Okay? Even you forget. And it takes walking away in order to remind her and in order to remind yourself. Okay, so that is your #1 most powerful weapon as a man, is having the ability to walk away. With that said, I'm gonna close up here. So until next time, this is M. Don't forget to smash that like button below. Also, hit that notification bell up top so that you are notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video. More importantly, guys, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It is very, very important that you guys actually subscribe to my channel because it tells YouTube that you value my content, you're feeling it, and you want me to produce more of it. So definitely make sure that you subscribe to my channel as well. And for you guys who want to support my work, support my content, and support everything that I'm teaching guys here on my channel, all this red pill knowledge, the best way to do that is by joining my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months of Mastery, where I'm teaching guys just like you how to go out there and approach and close the hottest women on the planet. I'm talking 8s, 9s, and 10s. Same exact type of women that myself and my students are out there approaching and closing every single week. And I kid you not, every single week. The thing you have to understand about pickup and game and all these skills that I teach you in 7 Months of Mastery is that they can be used not only to attract beautiful women into your life, 8s, 9s, and 10s, but you can use these skills to literally game the world, to game yourself. Okay, I've had guys use these pickup skills to get into better shape, to stop smoking, to stop drinking, to stop doing drugs even. They've used game on themselves. The same exact skills I teach you in 7 Months of Mastery, they could be used on the world. And I kid you not, as I teach all my students, life is game. Life is pickup. Everything out there that you deal with, every human interaction that you have out there is pickup. These are life skills that you want to use not only for yourself, but to teach to other men, to teach to your sons in the future. They're gonna need this stuff, guys. If you have sons, they're gonna need to learn these lessons. They're gonna need to learn that life is game. Life is pickup. So if you wanna sign up for 7 Months of Mastery, click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It only takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video.
What's up, man?
Say hi.
Hey, this guy's the best. Everybody watching this guy's the best.
Take it easy. All right, kind of fits the video. I get recognized from YouTube.